Buccafumi, The Holy Family with Angels. I like it for a couple reasons. I think it does a great job showing the unfinished early stages of a painting. Quite often the painting would be done in some type of sepia or browns, and then you work up your value studies. Later the French Academy would call this a Grisaille painting. You do it all in grays, and then after it dries, you glaze the colors over it, very similar to what Raphael's been doing. So you can see if the whole thing's brown, and then you take a light pink color with oil on it and you put it over it. You get now the brown starting to turn into pink. Then you do another layer, and now this has 2 layers, and then 3 layers and 4 layers. And the more layers of the pink you do, the richer and the color becomes. So working up all the problems. So quite often they'll do all of these studies with the different lights and darks and browns, and they work up what's called the figure, the object, and the background's relationship. How dark is the head compared to the background? How light is the face compared to the background? And you compose the whole painting to tell your story. Now, here's a problem that emerges with this artist. And this is, I don't know the level of the artist. I'm looking at the quality, and what Raphael just did with these edges is stunning. So these sharp edges now are going to be very hard, if not impossible, to get rid of. So if you compare the hair in the sideburns of the Raphael and how soft it was, that should have been attended first before the glazing. So laying in all these sharp lines and then glazing over it, there always will be sharp lines. So it's interesting though how soft this is in the upper left and how sharp the rest of the painting is, probably in an odd way of that hierarchical composition, saying here's the most important person. I'm not saying they're the biggest, but they're going to be outlined and stick out the most. I just thought it's neat just to look at an unfinished piece before it gets hidden with paint. And also you notice the difference in translucentness. The green area is what we call an opaque color. It's green pigment with white in it. The red area here is what we call a transparent color because it has a depth to it. You can see through the oil and there's a richness to the color. Quite often though, the transparent colors are more vibrant and beautiful. And when you want something to get farther away, it has to become grayer and uglier. So you would have to learn how to deal with that issue. And I think this is just a great example of the difference between what Raphael does and this person. And I believe the Raphael was what, 1515?